Hi everyone. Now we are going to discuss about the sexual harassment of women at workplace, Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act 2013. If you see the background of this act, it is enacted by the Parliament of India, commenced on 9 December 2013. What is the background? Why it has come into existence? Her right to life and to live with dignity. If you see the Article 14 and 15 of the Constitution India, it talks about the fundamental rights to women, equality under Article 14 and 15, and Article 21 are the base for this act. Article 21 of the Constitution says, right to practice any profession, to carry on any occupation, trade or business, which includes a right to safe environment, free from sexual harassment. Total number of chapter in this act is 8. Chapter 1 talks about the preliminary part, and chapter 2 talks about the constitution of internal complaints committee. Chapter 3 focus on constitution of local complaints committee. Chapter 4 focus on complaint. Chapter 5 talk about inquiry into complaint. Chapter 6 duties of employer. Chapter 7 duties and power of district officer, and chapter 8 talks about the miscellaneous. Chapter 1, that is preliminary. If you see in the section 1, it says the short title. As we know, that act may be called as Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace, Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act 2013. It extends to the whole of India. In section 2, it says about the definition of various terms used in this particular act. Number 1 is aggrieved woman. Who is a aggrieved woman? Aggrieved woman means in relation to a workplace, a woman of any age, whether employed or not, who alleged to have been subjected to any of sexual harassment by the respondent. And in relation to dwelling place or house, a woman of any age who is employed in such a dwelling place or house. Definition number 2 is appropriate government. In relation to a workplace which is established, owned, controlled or wholly or substantially financed by funds provided directly or indirectly by a central government or union territory administration, the central government or by the state government will be called as appropriate government. Number 3 is chairperson. Chairperson means the chairperson of local complaints committee nominated under subsection 1 of the section 7. Next is definition for district officer. District officer means section 5, there is a notification for district officer, he will be called as district officer. Next is domestic worker. Domestic worker means a woman who is employed to do household work in any household for remuneration is called as domestic worker. Next is employee. Employee means a person employed at a workplace for any work on regular, temporary or ad hoc or daily wage basis, either directly or through an agent including a contractor, with or without the knowledge of principal employer, whether for remuneration or not, or working on a voluntary basis or otherwise, whether the terms of employment are expressed or implied and include co-worker, a contract worker, probationer, trainee, apprentice or called by any other such name is called as employee. The employer. Employer means in relation to any department, organization, undertaking, establishment, enterprise, institution, office, branch or any unit of the appropriate government or a local authority, the head of the department, organization, undertaking, establishment, enterprise, institution. As any case, will be called as employer. Internal Complaints Committee means the Internal Complaints Committee constituted under Section 4. Local Committee means the Local Complaints Committee constituted under Section 6. Means the member of the Internal Committee or local. Prescribed means prescribed by rules made under this Act. Presiding Officer means the presiding officer of the Internal Complaints Committee nominated under subsection 2 of section 4. Respondent means a person against whom the aggrieved woman has made a complaint under section 9. Sexual harassment includes any one or more of the following. Sexual harassment means unwelcome acts or behavior, namely physical contact and advances, a demand or request for sexual favors, making sexual colored remarks, showing pornography, any other unwelcome physical, verbal or non-verbal conduct of sexual nature is called sexual harassment. Workplace includes any department or organization, private sector or private venture undertaking, hospitals or nursing homes, any sports institute, stadium, sports complex, etc. Any place visited by the employee arising out of or during the course of employment, including transportation by the employer for undertaking such journey. A dwelling place or house or an unorganized sector will be called as workplace. Section 3 talks about the prevention of sexual harassment. No woman shall be subjected to sexual harassment at any workplace. The following circumstances, among other circumstances, if it occurs or is present in relation to any connected behavior of sexual harassment, may account to sexual harassment. Her present and future employment status, interference with her work, creating an intimidating or offensive or hostile work environment for her, humiliating treatment like to affect her health and safety, will be coming under section 3, which means prevention of sexual harassment. These are the things which are called as behavior of sexual harassment. Chapter 2 talks about the constitution of Internal Complaints Committee. As per this Act, every unit of the workplace should constitute the Internal Complaints Committee. Internal Committee shall consist of the following members to be nominated by the employer. Presiding Officer. Senior woman employee. If senior woman employee is not available, shall be nominated from any other department of the organization. Not available, shall be nominated from any department or organization of the same employer. In this committee, not less than 2 members amongst employees who had experience in social work or legal knowledge. Then 1 member from NGO or associations committed to the cause of women issues or issues related to sexual harassment. At least one half of the total members shall be a woman. At least whatever number we have as a total number of the members shall be the woman. Period of office is for 3 years from the date of nomination. Every 3 years, the office members will get change. Chapter 3 talks about the constitution of Local Complaints Committee. In this notification of district officer, government may notify the district magistrate or additional district magistrate or collector or deputy collector or district officer of every district to exercise powers or discharge functions under this Act. Constitution of Jurisdiction of Local Committee. Every district to receive complaints from the industry employees has less than 10 workers, or the complaint is against the employer himself, then they have to give complaint to the local committee. one nodal officer in every local body to receive complaints and forward it to the local body within 7 days. Nodal officer will forward the complaint within 7 days. The jurisdiction of the local committee extends to the areas of the district. Next, the composition, tenure and other terms of conditions of local committee. Local committee consists of the following members nominated by the district officer. A chairperson to be nominated from eminent women in the field of social work and committed to the cause of women. One member to be nominated amongst the women working in block, taluk, or municipality in the district. 2 members, whom at least one shall be a woman, to be nominated for among the non-governmental organizations, associations committed to the cause of women. At least one of the nominees shall be woman, belong to the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes or other backward classes, minority community, notified by the central government from time to time. The concerned officer dealing with the social welfare, women and child development in the district shall be a member ex officio. The chairperson and every member of the local committee shall hold office for such period not exceeding 3 years. Next is about grants and audits. Central and state government will give grants and make audit. Chapter 5 talks about the complaint of sexual harassment. In section 9, it is specified about the complaint of sexual harassment. So, where to give complaint? Who has to give complaint? Any agreed woman may make in writing a complaint of sexual harassment at workplace to the internal committee, if so constituted, or local committee. As we know that local committee, when there is less than 10 employees, or if the employee is going to make complaint about the employer, then they have to go to local committee. In case it is not so constituted, with the period of 3 months from the date of incident, in case of series of incidents, within a period of 3 months from the date of last incident. Provided that where such complaint cannot be made in writing, the preceding officer or any member of the internal complaints committee, chairperson or any member of local committee, as the case may be, shall be render all reasonable assistance to the woman for making the complaint in writing, if they are not able to express in writing. If the agreed woman is unable to make complaint on account of her physical and mental incapacity, then her legal hire can make a complaint. Section 10 talks about the conciliation. The internal committee, local committee can make a conciliation procedure, but the settlement should not be provided in the monetary basis. There should not be monetary settlement. 7 talks about inquiry into complaint. The local committee shall forward the complaint to the police within the period of 7 days for registering the case under section 509 of the Indian Penal Code and any other relevant provisions of the said code. Chapter 5, Inquiry into Complaint. Action during the pendency of inquiry. During the pendency of an inquiry on a written request made by the agreed woman, the internal committee or local committee may recommend to the employer to transfer the agreed woman to any other workplace, grant leave to the agreed woman up to period of 3 months, inquiry report. On the punishment of inquiry under Act, the internal committee or local committee shall provide report its finding to the employer or district officer within the period of 10 days from the date of completion of inquiry, and such report has to be made available to the concerned parties. Both the parties have to know where what is the inquiry report is. Punishment for false or malicious complaint and false evidence. If the internal committee or local committee arrives at the conclusion that the respondent is complying, knowing it to be false, the committee may recommend to the employer or district officer to take action against the woman or the person who has made complaint, where the internal committee or local committee, as the case may be, arrived at inclusion of inquiry witness given for false evidence, produced any forged or misleading document. It may recommend the employer of the witness or the district officer to take against in accordance with the provisions in the law. Next is determination of compensation for the purpose of determining the sums to be paid to the aggrieved woman. Number 1, the mental trauma, pain, suffering and emotional distress caused to the aggrieved woman, the loss in the career opportunity due to incident of sexual harassment, medical expenses incurred by the victim for physical psychiatric treatment, the income and financial status of the respondent, feasibility of such payment in lump sum or an installment. Based on that, the compensation is determined. Next is prohibition of publication or making known content of complaint and inquiry proceeding. The identity and address of the aggrieved woman respondent or any information related to conciliation inquiry proceeding or the recommendation of internal and local committee should not be published in any manner. Number 17. Penalty for publication or making known content of complaint and inquiry proceeding. The address or any other confidential information about the case is published. The penalty, accordance with the provisions of service rules, has to be implemented. Number 18, appeal. The person aggrieved prefer to appeal. They can appeal to the court or tribunal. If they are going for appeal, then they have to appeal to the court within period of 90 days of recommendations. 6 talks about the duties of employer. In section 19 of the Act, the duties of employer is given. Number 1, to provide safety working environment at the workplace, organize workshops about the Sexual Harassment Act, and provide necessary facilities to the internal committee or local committee for dealing with the complaint and conducting an inquiry. Assist in securing the attendance of the respondent and witness before internal committee or local committee. Make available such information to the internal committee or local committee. Provide assistance to the woman if she chooses to file a complaint in relation to the offence under the Indian Penal Code or any other law for the time being in force. Treat sexual harassment as a misconduct under service rules. Initiate action for such misconduct. Monitor the timely submission of report to the Internal Complaints Committee. These are the very important points to be followed as a HR or the employer in an organization. Chapter 7, Duties and Powers of District Officer. Monitor the timely submission of report furnished by local committee. Section 22 says, the employer has to include the information in annual report if there is a sexual harassment related complaints. Section 23 says, appropriate government has to monitor the implementation and maintain the data. Section 24, direct the government to take measures on publicizing the Act. How to publicize the Act? Develop relevant information, education, communication and training materials and organize awareness programs for protection against sexual harassment of women at workplace. Section also says about formulating orientation and training programs for the members of the local committee. Section 25 talks about the power to call for information and inspection of records. And Section 26 talks about the penalty for non-compliance with the provision of the Act. Section 27 talks about the cognitions of offence by court. Number 28 talks about the Act not in derogating of any other law. Section 29 talks about the power of appropriate government to make rules. These are the main provisions which are given in the Act. So we need to know what is sexual harassment is, what are the act or behavior under sexual harassment, and what are the committees to be constituted, then where and how to give complaint. It talks about how to appeal for further inquiry. It also says about the duties of the employer. Thank you and wish you all the best.